Hi everyone, my name is August and welcome to my channel, the TRT-Train.com. I am 40 years now, turning 41, and I've been on TRT or Testosterone Replacement Therapy for about a year. And I thought it would be a great occasion to talk about how that experience have been. How when I started the therapy, how I started it, and the symptoms I had, and what kind of symptom relief I've found through the therapy. So as I said, I'm 40 now, and I got my diagnosis in October 2017. Secondary hypogonadism, which means it's basically the pituitary and hypothalamus in my brain that doesn't send the right signals to my testicles, and it leaves me with little to no testosterone. And I had probably lived with the symptoms for at least 2 to 3 years prior, actually, before I got diagnosed. I had really big issues with fatigue and brain fog, lack of libido, depression probably. I didn't think about it that way. I didn't think I was depressed. I was just feeling flat. Didn't have any life energy or excess energy. I didn't have the energy to exercise, and if I did exercise, it didn't result in anything. So I was struggling. I was struggling at work. I was struggling at home. I was struggling with my boyfriend. It really hurted us, and he was the one who said, you have to go see a doctor, and so I did. And I met an intern. I didn't see my regular physician because he was out practicing medicine somewhere else at the time, and he agreed to take a blood test, and it came back with the result of 13 nanomoles per liter, about 300 for you Americans. And that's not what a 37 or 36-and-a-half-year-old man should have, 37. That's the equivalent of normal testosterone for an 80-year-old. But he didn't know that. And he said, well, the clinical normal range is 9 to 35, and you have above 9, so it's normal. And I didn't know better, so I bought it and went home, and it didn't help me with any of the symptoms. About a year and 4 months later, I insisted, when I met my regular doctor, that he take a new blood test and that he send me to a specialist. And the blood test returned. It came back with a result of 11 nanomoles per liter, or about maybe 220 or something for you Americans again. And he sent me to a urologist, and about 3 weeks later I had my diagnosis. And that actually meant a lot to me at the time, because what it kind of meant to me then and there was that it wasn't something wrong with me. It wasn't August's personality or my genetics or whatever. It wasn't part of me. It was actually some kind of problem that we could control. We could try to fix it without fixing me, just fixing it. And he put me on Clomid. I reacted badly to those, unfortunately. They did increase my testosterone production, but they also tripled or put my estrogen over triple the normal value. And I turned red as a tomato, and night sweats, brain fog out of another world, no sex drive. I just really can't explain how terrible I felt. I was desperate. After 2 weeks or so, I called the doctor's office and talked with the receptionist nurse, and she just laughed at me and said, well, you have to try longer than this. No one can know after just 2 weeks. You have to keep on going. And I tried to explain to her that I feel like I'm about to go down. I feel I won't be able to do my job in a few more days. I'm afraid that my boyfriend is gonna leave me. And just basically my life is turning into shit. But she said, well, I can't do anything, you have to try. So I did, and I went on for a few, I don't know, a month in total. And then I just insisted that he call me back, the doctor, and he did. He actually called me back in the afternoon the same day. And I told him my symptoms, I told him I can't do this, it's impossible, I have a managerial position in my municipality, I have too much responsibility, I can't keep on going on like this, I need this fixed, I need it fixed now. And he agreed to take me in. He said, you have a choice to make. If I give you the option of testosterone, which is the other alternative here, you will lose your natural testosterone production. It will go away. So if that's okay with you, we can do this. And me and my boyfriend discussed it. We have plans of maybe in the future of having a child, if science and legislations allow. But it's like we had to discuss the different options for our future, and we decided, okay, well, we are two men, so we should have enough sperm to go around. So we decided that, yes, I'm going to go for the testosterone option, and we did. And I got Nebido, which is a long-lasting ester. You inject it in the buttocks, and it comes in a very thick, oily substance that is supposed to release gently over a while, 8 to 12 weeks, they say. And I was supposed to return back in about 6 weeks. But at the time I also took regular blood tests because I had read on the internet that you should do that while dialing in. And even though the doctor hadn't mentioned anything about it, I just insisted with my regular physician that I will be taking blood tests in your office every week. And that was okay. And after 4 weeks, the testosterone had run out. It was basically down to 6 or 5 or something like that, 150 or something. It had been great for 3 weeks. And I had very good symptom relief. I had morning wood, I had my libido back, I had my brain fog lifted, I had my energy, all the things I wanted. But then I just crashed at 4 weeks. And the doctor was puzzled because it's supposed to be lasting up to 12 weeks, but now it just lasted 4. So I I thought, okay, my body is probably really hungry for testosterone, being deficient for a good while. And I got my second injection, but I wasn't comfortable with the way my urologist was following me up. I didn't feel that he was asking the right questions. I didn't feel that he was interested enough, or that what he didn't correspond with what I was reading on the net or the web about what good practice is when it comes to testosterone replacement therapy. So I decided together with my boyfriend that I wanted to switch to a specialist in Oslo. So even if it's a longer way away from me and it costs more and blah, 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 we decided it's probably the better option. And I did that. I switched and I went to see him and I told him about my desperation, because my second injection, that was actually the one that tipped me over and made us decide to seek out the specialist in Oslo. When you've got the symptom relief the first time, you kind of expect to it will happen again the second injection, but it didn't. It actually just went to hell. My estrogen went sky high, and even though my testosterone was in okay levels, I didn't get any symptom relief. So it's probably the estrogen again. And worth mentioning, I was 105 kilos at the time, and was fat, and that doesn't help. That really doesn't help you on TRT. It really makes it complicated because all your fatty tissue is just making a lot of aromatase, which is the enzyme that converts your testosterone to estrogen. And the more testosterone you get, the more estrogen you get because of your fat. And when I went to see him, I pleaded with him. I told him how bad I felt. I told him I was desperate. I told him I wanted I want the American method. I want the injections every 1 week or maximum every 2 weeks. And I want this and this dosage. And like, I had really read a lot about stuff on the internet, and I thought I had a clear grasp of what I needed. And I also thought, like, in Norway they're so conservative, I have to really struggle to get this, and I was really set on one solution. But he said, okay, I promise you I'm going to help you, but you have to promise me that you will try Testogel first. We have to try it. And I said, yes, okay, let's do this, but you have to promise me you're gonna help me if this doesn't work. And the thing about Testogel that I heard is, like, you take it on your skin, you apply it on your skin, and it supposedly is not so effective. If you inject it into your bloodstream, the testosterone is so much purer and it goes into your bloodstream right away, and it's available. But when you apply it on your skin, it's only a certain percentage of the gel that actually penetrates and goes into your body. All of these things I heard, and that it's ineffective and it doesn't really work. And I can just tell you that my personal experience has proven that to be, for me at least, has proven to be not the case. Testogel is highly effective. It's probably, it could have been that earlier iterations of the drug was ineffective, but today it's so much more refined. It's very effective. You have a very high absorption rate. It's actually so potent that you shouldn't actually be letting your spouse touch you if she's a female, or let anyone touch you, and you shouldn't be having small children touch you on the areas of the application, because it will actually penetrate their skin and it will go into the bloodstream. And the thing I think that really makes the Testogel so great for me is it's very easy to apply. I have this press bottle. It squirts out about, I think, 10 milligrams of gel for every squirt. And I figured out through well, my doctor wasn't the one who actually led me onto this. He just said you should take 50 milligrams. But it was through searching the web I found out that you probably, there is no one standard dosage for this. This is individual, it's very individual. It depends very much upon your body composition, your receptor cells. You have something called the CAG repeaters or CAG repeaters in your cells that receives the testosterone molecule, but they can be very effective or they can be ineffective. It depends upon the amount of repeaters you have. So this is very, very individual how much you need. And if you take too much, your body goes through many processes called, one of them is called downregulation, where your receptor cells are desensitized and you need much, it's like you take too much and your body can't handle it. So it down-regulates, and then the surplus will probably go to the other component, which is aromatization, where your body reduces the amount of testosterone by converting it to estrogen, and especially if you have a lot of fat. So through the web, I found out that there are two solutions to my estrogen problem. It's either use an aromatase inhibitor, or it is reducing your testosterone. And reducing the testosterone was not something I was very, very keen on. It's very strange because you've been deficient, and you associate all the negatives with lack of testosterone. It doesn't even occur to you that some of it might come because of your body can't handle so much testosterone. So I opted in for the aromatase at first, but that sent my estrogen to zero, even though I just took half a pill every few days. I was actually prescribed to take a whole pill every other day, which is crazy. I think I did more than half of it, because I didn't take it every other day and I didn't take a full pill. I took half or a third of a pill. And even though I did that, my estrogen floored. It went to zero. And having zero estrogen is almost or equally bad as having too much. Your body doesn't function well without any estrogen. So I couldn't win, could I? But coming off of the Nebido and going, this was the aromatase I did, the aromatase inhibitor I took while on Nebido. But I could stop when I came on Testogel and found that I could lower my dose. And I lowered it from 50 to 20. And that did the trick. That was the one that stabilized. That was the one step I did that stabilized me. And I could enjoy my testosterone replacement therapy without all the side effects of heightened estrogen. And then after a while, I could increase, because as I mentioned, your body starts to handle it better, and then it actually also starts to need a little bit more to keep you on the same level. It's almost like drugs in a way. It's not quite the same, but it has some similar effects. So I have during this year gone from 20 to now applying 40 to 50 milligrams per day, which is actually the dosage they said I should take in the very start. So if you're in my situation, if you are struggling with brain fog, low sex drive, depression, fatigue, and you go to the gym and you don't put on any muscles, you're starting to become middle-aged maybe, or you don't even have to be middle-aged to have hypogonadism issues, then don't do what I did and procrastinate about it and think that it will just all go away by itself, or even worse, it's just me. It's August. This is me. I'm almost like a bad person. Everyone else around me, all the other managers, they're able to keep going for much longer hours than I can. They seem to be energized much more than I can. I'm just a bad person. I was there. It's not that. It's probably not that. Men are not used to think about hormones, and that's why I have this channel. That's why I have my website. It's why I spend a lot of my time trying to reach out to people to inform them that for men, we also are equally as women dependent upon our hormones. And it's not... I think we all accept that women have more hormone issues naturally, and we don't apply any of it to ourselves. We just maybe think some men are weak and most men are strong. I don't know, but I'm absolutely a strong person. But this nearly broke me. So if you're there, seek out help. Seek out a doctor. If you don't get help right away, don't give up. Go to someone else. There are more fish in the sea. Unfortunately, this is a field that many general practitioners don't know enough about. So if you're a general practitioner, please take heed of this and inform yourself. Make sure that you're up to date to the latest research. And don't be treating people with the clinical normal range of 9 to 35 without knowing that it has nuances, and you should probably also be using the ADAM questionnaire. So in any case, I hope you found this informative, and please check out my site. I've put a lot of work in it. You'll find a lot of science-based and fact-based articles along with my personal blog and my story, and also my podcast. So hope to see you there. Please like, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye-bye.